We love this one. Susan Werner. Thrilled to have you back. So, when I was a very, very young boy, the first baseball game I ever saw was at a place called Durham Athletic Park. I saw the Durham Bulls play. I have a vague memory. I was about 4. And then as I grew up, they were our little minor league team, and I got to see Chipper Jones and Ryan Klesko and all the heroes of my Braves go on through. And then the movie came out and ruined the place. Couldn't get in, saved your life. But you've been working on this cool project, and this is the musical adaptation of that great movie that starred Kevin Costner and Susan Sarandon, which is now 20-some years old. The movie's been out for a long time. But it's happening down in Atlanta for now. What is the deal?
So I'm writing the music and lyrics for Bull Durham the Musical, which is going to run from September 3rd to October 5th at the Alliance Theater in Atlanta. And I have the great good fortune to work on this show. And one of the many wonderful things about this particular musical is that the book writer for the musical, the guy who writes the dialogue, is Ron Shaw, who wrote and directed Bull Durham. He also wrote and directed White Men Can't Jump. He also wrote and directed Tin Cup. And he knows how to tell a story. And working with him...
A sports story.
A sports story, but also a love story, right? And for those of you that are fans of the movie Bull Durham, you'll remember that there was Annie Savoy, and there was Crash Davis, and Nuke LaLoosh, who were in a love triangle. Well, this is the stuff of which musicals are made. And also, there's a whole bunch of good-looking guys, handsome guys, who can really move and dance, and it's, I mean, I was sorry to have to leave Atlanta this morning. I missed the whole choreography bit today, and I'm hurrying back tomorrow so I don't miss the next one.
They pulled this out of baseball, sort of baseball moves become...
Yeah, the moves, yeah, our choreographer, this guy Josh Bergass, who worked most recently on a TV program that maybe some of the audience has seen called Smash, which is about musicals. And Josh Bergass is using the physical vocabulary of baseball to create a new kind of stage movement, which incorporates things like a swing, a slide into home, a tag, catch, swinging the bats. There's a whole thing with the bats, which is fabulous, just fabulous, and believable, authentic, and believable, and gritty, like minor league baseball is.
And when your task is to write the songs, how much of the, obviously the topic and the situation are predetermined for you, but what about, are you borrowing some lyrics from the original dialogue? Are you totally free? How did you balance that? How did you come up with the lyrics for these particular songs?
And that's a great question, because that's really the question in all musicals. Where does the language for the songs come from? So I have the screenplay, the original screenplay for Bull Durham, and I've been looking at that a lot. I'll circle little phrases that are colorful, and some of those phrases eventually become songs. At one point, Millie says to Annie, Millie's the young woman who is friendly with, let's put it that way, friendly with half of the Carolina League, as it says in the screenplay. And she says, Annie, do I deserve to wear white? Song becomes, every woman deserves to wear white. So there are little lines in the dialogue that become the songs. And it's been a great pleasure again to work with Ron, because he's just such a talented and smart and funny guy.
All right, and this is a huge production. It's going to Broadway. Can't wait to see how this rolls out. Can't wait to come down and see it. Now, you played all songs from Hayseed. So glad you did. When you last visited us, the record was pretty new. Then you went and toured on it, and I imagine got a lot of stories from fans about their farm life, played some farmers markets, saw that culture through some new eyes. How did it go?
It was one of the most rewarding things I've ever done with my work, and I think it's because it comes from affection. I was lucky enough to grow up on a farm. My parents were farmers, my grandparents were farmers, my great-grandparents were farmers, all in eastern Iowa, and I really believe in their goodness. I've experienced it myself, and I see the goodness in the people who want to make a living off the land, and a living in relation to the land, and to grow something, to grow food that feeds us all, and to have a connection with the people they're feeding. And one fun thing we did, I know you know in Tennessee, I know you know. And one fun thing I did was I would go to the farmers markets and I'd buy like $50 or $75 worth of produce every morning. And then I would go throw it out at the evening at the show. I would throw food out and mention what farm it was that it came from. And someone said to me, you know, that's the first time I've ever seen fruit thrown from a performer at the audience.
And it was fresh, which is also a twist.
Fresh that morning.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, anything, any recordings from you coming that we should mention? Anything you want to kind of throw out there besides? Because I'm sure the music has got you pretty busy. But
the musical does have me pretty engaged. But for your Nashville listeners, I mean, Atlanta's 3 hours down the highway, and the Alliance is a little hall. I mean, it's only like 700 seats, and so you really will see close up the actors and this world-class talent in a really intimate setting. And I encourage you to come down and see it, even if it's filmed in New York. You might want to come see it now with all the energy of Discovery writing.
My friend Susan Werner, thanks for the visit.
Susan, have a great time down there at the Alliance. I haven't been there in years since the last show, the last play I did there. I didn't really get to do any dancing, which was a shame in that show because, Anyway, I guess, but if you need someone as the lead baseball player, it reminds me of my high school days, and they wanted me to go pro, but I decided to do music instead. Anyway, let's get on with this show.
Frustrated actor to everybody, isn't it?
But anyway, that's really interesting. That's going to be good.